WrestleBlast fans, welcome back to WrestleBlast TV. Joy the Bruce and Ted Brusso alongside one half of the Sons of Thunder, Bishop. Bishop is here in NEW, tagging once again with his brother Deacon. Together, after all this time, making your return back as you got a big title match here at NEW today.
Yes, we're facing a Glenn Dillon and Super Beast. I'm going to attempt to slam at least one of them.
I don't know. That's a tough task. Well, you got to do that. I mean, especially with all the tribulations you went through in 2006, the big injury to your leg, the rehab, the comeback, even OSPW television champion. Based on all that hard work, I mean, it took a lot, I'm sure, to get that under your belt and kind of take it under your own wing. You've made your own responsibilities and have paid through, right?
Yes. It's been a year tomorrow. 1 year tomorrow since I broke my leg and I was out of action.
And we've seen it here on WrestleBlast TV. We've shown the footage, as graphic as it may be, but it was real, folks, but you came through. So with doing that, and of course, all of our wrestling fans out there watching, we get the opportunity, and I have the pleasure and privilege, once I get my tongue fixed, to produce and introduce to you Bishop from the Sons of Thunder. You have been chosen as WrestleBlast TV Athlete of the Year. Our congratulations to you from all of our fans voting.
Thank you very much.
You have been chosen as making that comeback and striving to be the best athlete that you can and overcoming this obstacle and now coming through here as a champion. Congratulations. Tell them.
It's been an honor and privilege to be wrestling for OSPW and to get this award. I didn't expect this award, nor the awards that I got at OSPW. For most inspirational, these two awards mean a lot to me, and I'm going to try to keep up the wrestling that I am doing and make sure that the fans enjoy my match.
And they'll continue from years on end. And Bishop, again, we couldn't be more happier for you after coming back from that injury, but showing the athlete that you are, you made it persevere and you did well. Our congratulations. 2006 Athlete of the Year, Bishop from the Sons of Thunder. I'm Joey the Bruiser, Ted Bruiser. We'll be back with more WrestleBlast TV right after this.
Well, fans, the wrestling action already started here. Next era wrestling, Tiger Smith versus Trip. Bruiser, what we got going on here? They want the bell to be rung.
All of a sudden that we saw right out here, all the members came out here and attacked Trip and Ray, and well, it looks like yeah, he's taking her back here as we got the match underway, Bruiser. Right away here, Jazz, we saw an immediate attack on, of course, on Trip here, maybe to kind of soften it up here for Tiger Smith.
Now, this is an incredible match here, Bruiser. I expect a lot of stuff to happen here, but I wasn't expecting the early jump attack happening on the side.
Well, we know Tiger Smith recently became part of Team F-View here at NEW, and joining alliance with Mr. Perez, who we just saw take out Ray, along with JC Money and the whole crew here all of a sudden, but now they're finding they have a vendetta against Trip.
Well, Trip might be in for a long night here. And this is how it's going to go, because Tiger Smith always comes for action there, Bruiser.
And you can see Tiger Smith now with a great takeover on Trip here. We got to cover Smokey Paymaster with a 2 count only here. Now you got to wonder what the beginning of that whole melee ended up there, Jazz, is some type of area where, again, Trip in the past may have gotten under the skin, going back to maybe OSPW that Tiger always had, and Trip being a big member of OSPW, now finding maybe a little grudge there, would you say?
Oh, gee, I couldn't imagine either one of these guys having a little carryover into another fed from another one, huh?
We're going to see what happens now, as you can see.
The reverse chin lock here being applied by Tiger, Bruiser.
See the pressure he's putting on the back of that chin, and that knee is in the back of the neck as well.
Now this is referee who here?
This Smokey Paymaster in there. Well, one of the more respected, more veteran referees here in the Western New York area.
I'm going to take a quick, there's JC Money right outside the ring.
Oh, you see he's flirting around there. He always knows himself in the Rochester area as Mr. Rochester, but around these parts here, he's just a down-out nuisance, I guess.
And Bruiser, the world already knows, but we have a wrestler of the year in Robert Ezekiel.
Actually, we're going to see him later on here defending his title at NEW.
Nice suplex there from Trip.
Snap suplex by Trip now. He looks to follow up. Mr. Perez also at ringside here. Again, the manager leader with cigar in hand here for Team FU. Well, I don't like the numbers game here for Tripp, and Ray Ray isn't even by his side in this match.
Oh, I know, she didn't even make it down to ringside here, Bruiser. But Tripp has administered some punishment of his own here going up against Tiger Smith. He's picking him up. What's he going to hit him with? Oh, a nice forearm. He's taking him back to the corner.
You know, these last couple of months, and I'm sure, Jazz, you'd agree, Tripp has found a little bit more of a mean streak in him that we're used to seeing in the past there, and going up against, again, bigger talent, tougher talent here. He's got to step up to the plate, and he's been showing it.
I was going to say, Tripp is dangerous when he gets you in the corner, but Tiger Smith had that pretty well scouted, Bruiser.
We're going to see what happens when he follows up on a big right boot to the side of the face here, and Mr. President, JC Money still looking out. We got a 2 count. Tiger
Nice
Smith
kick out there from Tripp.
Not too happy with that, thinking that maybe it was a little bit of a slow count. Well, that's to be determined. And now Tiger Smith with a follow-up here. Looks like he's setting him up. Could be a power bomb. Trying to lift him. Blocked by Tripp. Takes him down with the reversal. And now starts putting the beat into him.
Nothing scientific about that, Bruiser. Tripp is just tired of the Tiger's, well, however you want to call it, the tail. And he's giving it to him there. Fist of fire.
And now he's coming back here with a couple of rights here, setting up Tiger Smith, Irish whip, coming
Whips
off
him
the
over.
ropes.
Nice
Big
reverse elbow there, Bruiser. Now what's he going to give him here? The Tripp spin?
Fouls up off the rope, leg drop. Now a cover here.
And a kick out by Tiger.
You know, Tiger Smith, he's always been one to find a way to dig down deep in a lot of his matches. Once you think that he's got it all caught up and it's against him, he'll find a way to keep it going here. That's the great athleticism that he possesses as well.
Because of all the storms here, I see that our man out here is carrying a flashlight. Oh, wait, what's going on? Oh, it was almost a count there. Mr. Perez is carrying that heavy industrial flashlight because, you know, the power's been kind of shaky here in North Buffalo.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, it is, of course, in January here. You never know when those storms come up, so he's staying prepared. What JC Money here is carrying, what is that?
And there's the Tripp spin.
He's trying to get some toilet paper here. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, wait a minute. Tripp ascending to the top. Here's Tripp with Tiger Smith down, flying elbow.
And he lands that one nicely, Bruiser, and the fans show some appreciation for that move.
He should be covering here, though, Jazz. And, well, he's going to look to inflict more punishment, it looks like.
Well, this might be some of that animosity you were talking about carrying over from another Fed.
Looks like he's trying to set up here for the Tripp's end, looking for the Tripp's end. Will he?
Oh,
no,
Tiger's able to scoop out of it. And he's able to scoot out of that. And a little schoolboy here, Bruiser. What's the count? 1, 2,
and 3. They got him.
What kind of count was that?
Little hesitation there, but they call it.
Now here comes Mr. Perez with that.
Now Mr. Perez here having some type of discussion with referee Smokey Paymaster. Now, what's the argument that he has here, Jazzy? He made the call. Nice roll-up, like you said. He tried for, again, the Tripp's end. It was well blocked, but Tiger Smith here didn't see it.
They're telling him to restart the match.
Well, again, Mr. Perez, he's the CEO here at NEW, and
Tiger needs to turn around. He's not paying attention to what's happening behind him.
And now it looks like he's set up for the Tripp's end. He's got Tiger Smith up. He's looking to end this once and for all. There.
Oh, Bruiser.
Cover, that'll do it. Finally, there it is.
What a way to...
He wanted a chance, he got it.
What a way to start the year here for Tripp. 2007 here in Next Era, taking out Tiger Smith.
And we'll be giving out more WrestleBlast awards, but that one, the Duke Tripp gets that, who was the 2006 Rookie of the Year, so he continues his winning ways.
And who's going to be Rookie of the Year this time, Bruiser? And there's more confusion here in the ring. I know you're pulling double duty tonight, so we're going to be switching you over to the Next Era calling team also, Bruiser. Is that correct?
Hey, it's all about, you know, keeping everything a variety. Either way, Jazz, we're here, and it's all about the wrestling here in West New York, so we'll go any which way.
Just mention WrestleBlast TV or time or two while you're over there.
Of course, we got to get that in there. Wait a minute, FU here is in the ring. Match with you, and it's an honor being here. Thank you for joining me here today.
Bruiser, I just got to say one thing. I have been around this business for over 25 years, and you, my friend, are one of the most incredibly talented commentators I've ever seen in my life, and that's why everyone in the studio audience is going to vote for Bruiser as the #1 commentator.
That's right.
And coming out here is Hellcat. Shirley, that's Hellcat.
There, I see her. Here's the boss.
That's the guy.
Hellcat, the big boss, the Vince McMahon of the independent scene.
Now you're going to see here as he's made his way out here with his nephew, Johnny Kayfabe is alongside. Normally I would see his bodyguard Ice out here, but I can't seem to find him right now, so it looks like that they're going to stay true. Very quickly, also joining us here, because this is such a big event, Jazz Miles is also in on the action here, Jazz. I just wanted to throw in the fact that Hellcat is leading in the most popular and the most hated wrestler of the year. He's leading in both. That'll be quite a quandary. I mean, we got to hit the divvy it up somehow here.
I got a question, Jazz. Why is that? Is it because that people feel differently in Rochester than in Niagara Falls? That's what it is?
And the bottom line is people love to hate Hellcat.
Well,
He's leading in both categories, guys.
he's leading in both. Well, answer me this, Jazz. What is likable about Hellcat?
Well, he comes out and says what he's going to do. He gets it done. He's a hell of a performer. He backs away from no one.
Okay, so you have to admire that.
You know what's interesting here? You know what's interesting here is that Hellcat making his way to the finals, where last month he took on his longtime friend and partner, a tag team for many years, and they formed together their partnership, Team 420. They became bitter enemies, and he did some damage to Chip Stetson last month, which gives him his shot here at the title. And it's incredible where a title of this magnitude can break friends up just like that. And now you can see Hellcat with his opportunity. The boss has the chance to rule the empire. And Hellcat is the first ever WrestleBlast TV champion holding in BCW. First ever. Very well-known fact here this time. So when WrestleBlast came on the air back in '96, we crowned him as the first champion at the time.
Wow. But now Hellcat is the boss. Now, I believe a big player in BCW was Troy the Boy Buchanan, right?
That is correct, and he was from BCW at the time, and also part of it. As you can see right now, the match here continuing. Kevin Dunn, who many fans know is also being a tag team specialist with Me Marcos as well, and they formed a team back in the day, but right now it's Kevin Dunn that is doing it in a singles competition, and he's been a heck of a talent here, especially not only in NWA Upstate itself in Rochester, but has shown himself to be quite a contender here at NWA Empire.
And Kevin is smart, too, because he knows that when Hellcat is out of the ring, he stays right inside the ring, because that's just what Hellcat wants him to do, to follow him up outside of the ring. That's Hellcat. He connives, he thinks, he plans. How can I fool the other guy into letting me kick his butt?
Well, I'll tell you, Hellcat, he's a wily veteran, like we have mentioned before, and you would think that the upper hand, I would have to say, just because of just experience would go to Hellcat, but Kevin Dunn has shown himself as great athleticism here over the past. You see a great arm drag that time. He has an opportunity that may have eluded him in the past, but from his talents he's shown, this is a great chance for him to get his first singles title here in quite a while, but it's going to be a tall task against the boss.
I don't know about that. Hellcat's a force to be reckoned with tonight, Joey. And I guarantee you, we haven't seen the beginning yet. Hellcat's just getting warmed up.
As you can see right now, the action continues. Leapfrog that time by Kevin Dunn. Hellcat went under, but he caught it back again, and now Dunn setting him up. Kevin Dunn with Hellcat. Reverse atomic drop. That's going to feel not too well. Nonetheless, you're going to see here now Kevin Dunn just kind of waiting and poising for him to do something. Does it again, brings him up, and a second time brings him up and down.
Atomic drop, that was fabulous. I mean, I haven't seen that since '75.
You're going to see incredibly, Richie, where you at that time, that second atomic drop had so much momentum on it. It just took right now Hellcat right out outside of the ring. This is where Hellcat is good at the mind games, getting the rest, and of course
but
his nephew
Kevin is
out
following
there.
him, Joey. He's following him outside of the ring.
Now you got to watch Johnny Kayfabe. His nephew is out there. He ducks out of the way, so he's got a little support.
Oh!
Hellcat missing with the elbow that time. Dunn follows up, arm drag takeover there, and sets him out again.
I can see that Dunn has him well scouted out, Joey the Bruiser.
We talked about Mean Marcos as being his former tag team partner, and they were former champions as well. They call themselves Well Done. But now you can see Dunn, Kevin Dunn here, taking it upon himself here as continue on. And wait a minute, looks like Hellcat hightailed it out of there that time as he caught the ropes. You got to give him credit. He's
I'll tell you,
taking a little breather on
Hellcat is
that
so
one.
cerebral. I mean, he knows exactly what he needed to do, and what he needed to do is take a little break, reassess everything that's going inside the ring.
Wait,
Oh,
son, slingshot comes over the top rope but misses. Just like you mentioned, Richie, that
Exactly what
he
I
had
said.
the idea.
He's reassessing the whole match. He's taking his time. He's taking a step back. Very smart competitor.
Well, we talked about the experience where Kevin Dunn was experienced in tag wrestling. Here's his chance in individual matchup. He's fared well throughout this tournament, but now when you go up against a gentleman, or of course like of Hellcat here, I use gentleman in a very loose terms, of course.
You certainly do.
But you can see that he is, not only when he used to work with Chip Stetson, he was also, like Jazz mentioned, a former singles holder here on WrestleBlast TV. So he knows the singles action. He knows the ins and outs and how to work with his opponents. But right now you can see still on the outside, both men actually catching a breather here on this. I thought Hellcat would be all over him, though.
No, Hellcat knows exactly where he is, and he knows another thing. Kevin has a positive and a negative.
Wait a minute. Johnny Kayfabe was distracting the referee here.
Of course
and while
he
was doing that, I don't know if Hellcat went into his tights here and pulled something out. But wait,
Well, that's
Jazz
just
Miles
so
is at
shocking,
ringside
Joey.
seeing. We may be able to see that here.
I'm so shocked, you know.
Yeah.
Kevin Dunn has a positive. He has no fear. That's also his negative, though. No
His
fear.
downfall, right.
He's not afraid of what Hellcat's about to do. Everybody knows Hellcat. Everybody knows he cannot be trusted. Everybody knows he does not play by the rules.
Wait a
But I
minute.
guess you have to say he gets things done. And
Whatever Hellcat had, Richie, if you don't mind me interrupting here, and it's just busted Kevin Dunn. He's busted open bad. He's bleeding bad. Whatever he put in from his shorts and he got him out, he busted him up really bad. Now there's trouble here. This, again, Kevin Dunn here. Oh, he's wearing the crimson mask, the proverbial crimson mask. And now you can see Hellcat actually smelling blood, literally smelling blood and taking it to him, Pastor.
You don't stay at the top of this game for 10 years and not know enough. Hellcat is the example of what it is to be tough and perseverant.
excuse me, Pastor Charlie. I mean, Kevin is bleeding profusely. I mean, are they going to stop this match?
Yeah, they're going to have to take a look here close.
It's no DQ or
No,
what
it's
is it?
regular rules here, but the referee's got to take a look at that cut closely. We have doctors at ringside.
Now,
But now you can see now Hellcat
back
working.
up bad.
You're right, Pastor Charlie. He's working all ends. Obviously a busted head, that blood releasing from Kevin Dunn. That's going to make him weary here down the side. But you can see it's Hellcat now working on the legs and making sure that all areas of the body are going to be
he
lifted.
knows exactly what he's doing.
Wait, coming off the ropes though. Kevin Dunn with the hookup. Still finding some energy. And now again,
Working on
Hellcat.
it again.
Kick to the left leg here. So that's the big idea behind it, Richie and Pastor Charlie, is that you take out those legs. You don't have that top game to work with. If it's all on the ground, Hellcat will take full advantage.
You know what I can't understand is the appeal to Hellcat. I mean, why do people like him, Joey? Tell me, because I don't understand.
You know, it's interesting from when he's come up in the ranks here in the wrestling area, whether some folks, and like Jazz mentioned, either people they like him, he's been voted #1 most popular and then #1 most hated. I guess if anything, it's got to be his diversity. I mean, he's been in and out, whether he'd retired a while back ago because he had back surgery and
Yes,
all these
exactly.
problems, and now he's making his way back. And whether, like we said, whether you love him or you hate him, you got to admire his integrity, his due diligence to work hard and get back in. And now here's his opportunity to become a champion once again after all these years.
Well, as you called him earlier, he is the boss. He just owns everything. He is an entrepreneur. He probably the Vince McMahon of the independent circuit.
Yeah, but with that saying though, Richie, him being the boss, I mean, you got to worry for Kevin Dunn here. Not only is he busted open, but as you can see, you roll up a small package at a time by the boss. Maybe it's just a matter of why even go through the match. The boss can get the title when he wants, whenever he wants.
Anytime. He's working on that knee. He's trying to put him out of commission permanently. Not just about a fight.
You know, I hate to say it, but one thing that I do admire about Hellcat is even though he is the boss, he does not use that to actually change the kind of match that he's wrestling. He does not use that to perhaps get a match that was more in his favor. He's seen Kevin Dunn one-on-one in the squared circle. one person is going to be victorious and one person is going to lose. Hellcat's putting it all on the line. He owns all this. He is the man.
This is a momentous occasion. This is the finals of crowning the first NWA Empire Heavyweight Champion. And just like you said, and to quote a line from, of course, Mick Foley, Hellcat has that testicular fortitude to get the job done no matter how much damage he causes his opponent. And you can see he continues to work on that cut from Kevin Dunn.
Oh, man.
Right to the head with that boot again.
That had to be all she wrote, folks.
And you can see the outside Johnny Kayfabe here adding a little more to it. And Hellcat raising his hands as he sees the inevitability of this one possibly. But Kevin Dunn in the past, he has shown also strength and a second win that he's always found, even in his tag matches in the past and throughout this tournament, to find a way to win. So it's not over yet, even though you feel that it may be eventual, but he's still coming back. But right now, Hellcat, I mean, what else are you going to do? If he's all busted open like this, all the energy is put out of him right now, where can you find the momentum?
I got a question. What does Johnny Kayfabe have to do with anything? How come he's out there in the first place? Is he really a manager?
Well, he's supporting his uncle Hellcat, and everyone knows that relationship, and that was different as Hellcat missed with the headbutt a while back ago when NWA Upstate invaded ESW. Johnny Kayfabe at the time ended up siding with ESW. Big war between his uncle and himself. But now, in recent months, he has reconciled again. He has joined his uncle in his pursuit of capturing the NWA Empire title and possibly even bringing it back to Rochester.
Joey, I have the answer, and the answer is a dollar sign. Bling, bling. He saw that dollar sign shining in the air, and he said, I'm going to capitalize on this, and he put every emotion, every feeling, every harbored feeling that he had against Hellcat, he threw it out the garbage.
Yeah, absolutely.
You said it. Kevin's getting a second win back right now. I don't know what's going to happen.
They don't mind the kind that
jingles. Out of this.
I was going to say they don't mind the money, that kind that jiggles, but they prefer the kind that folds. As you can see right now, it's Kevin Dunn trying to come in. A little aggressive that time as he's trying to take on Hellcat, bring him up and over. And now Hellcat with the boot. Wait, just like I thought. Here's the bodyguard. Isis now made his way to ringside. Hellcat's bodyguard. It's an eventual 3-on-1 right now, Richie.
The ref is being distracted on the other side of the ring.
And Pastor Charlie again mentioning that too, is that it's just a matter of, again, it's now a numbers game. So maybe this could be the beginning of the end.
I actually hope that we can go to a replay. Did Hellcat take the second rope and snap it in Kevin Dunn's face?
Yeah, he's using any means possible.
No, I think that's what it was. I gotta see the replay.
Oh my goodness, and he snaps him right down. And on top of that, Kevin Dunn's leg got caught up in the ropes. More damage afflicted to the lower region right now of Kevin Dunn. It looks like he's set it up for a figure four. Trying to lock him in, and he does.
Incredibly executed,
he locks it
gentlemen. This is a Ric Flair style figure four. He has the pressure just in the right place.
Referee checking on Kevin Dunn, asking if he needs to submit, and he's got him right in the middle of the ring here as well.
Kevin is incredibly strong.
The crowd is totally behind Kevin Dunn, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd has totally changed.
Kevin Dunn trying to reverse the figure four by turning him over, but no, Hellcat came right back and has him down. Oh, that's it. It's going to do it. It was just too much. It was too much, Richie. Pastor Charlie, just too much on that one.
It was perfectly executed.
It looks like we have a new champion.
Your winner and the first ever NWA Empire Heavyweight Champion, Hellcat.
Oh, there it is, my friends. You saw it and how it was. It looked like that Kevin Dunn had the opportunity to turn him over, but again, that blood loss, that obviously had to play a factor.
Absolutely.
I'm not a big fan of Hellcat, but I have to say one thing. He did not use his role of the owner of the company to change any rules, to change any regulations, and he got the job done. So
I will agree.
I reluctantly say hats off to Hellcat.
Hats off is right. Even the case being, I mean, he had Ice and, of course, his nephew, Johnny Kayfabe on the outside, but he did the work. The boss is the ruler of the Empire.
Oh, man, the only thing that's bothering me right now is if you think his ego was big in the past, Oh my God!
Walk in the room 5 minutes before he will.
You heard it from the bad boys themselves, and they're my friends walking out of the ring, and all proud in everything he's done. It is the champion, Hellcat, here at NWA Empire, Pilgrims and Pile Drivers. We thank you all for joining us, and Richie, Pastor Charlie, again, it was a pleasure calling the match with you. We are going to be doing this again very
Joey,
soon.
I just got to say one thing. To all the TV fans out there, if you have a choice between Joey the Bruiser and Ivan the Impaler, please, for the love of God, for all that's good and all that's holy, cast aside Ivan the Impaler. He's a fool. And vote for Joey the Bruiser Tenebruso.
Go to
He's the man.
NWAEmpire.com.
WrestleBlast fans, welcome back to WrestleBlast TV. I'm your host, Joey the Bruiser Tenebruso, and every once in a while, and you've seen on the show in the past, that folks come by, say hi, and get ready for the Fist of Fury and all that's involved with the bruise marks, and just kind of come in and say hello to all the wrestling fans, whether it be independent, maybe some mainstream, we've done in the past. Well, I have that opportunity right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure as we pan out, and I have in front of me at this time this gentleman, this 6'4" man, of course, Slaughter Creek, Texas.
Exactly.
Blackjack Phoenix, star in OSPW now, also nationally known, and he has made his way here to WrestleBlast TV. Blackjack, welcome to WrestleBlast, and good to see you, my friend. Very good. Excellent.
Thank you, boy. Thank you, boy. My pleasure.
Now, first, let me just get things started here. Now, we've talked in the past and seen some of your matches. You know, you're in the Western New York area. You've wrestled all over the country. You've held some pretty prestigious titles, which we can go over here in a little bit. But OSPW, let's start with that. Why OSPW? What is it that brings you here?
OSPW is more personal, Bruiser. It's a matter of there's two guys there. I just, you know, there's something about them. They're good competition. They've taken me out. They cheated me in the past, and that's why I'm back. It's not so much revenge. It's just something I got to prove to myself and to the fans locally.
Okay, no, and well, there's a lot of great competition here, and
it's good. It's
obviously
good. It's good.
This is an opportunity here where you know we've seen over the weeks that your star obviously is on the rise here, and well, you got goals in mind here. Tell us a little bit.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. My biggest goal coming back to OSPW was take the OSPW tag team titles.
Right.
Me and my partner, the big one, Greg Karma. Every time we seemed to get those titles, we got cheated. Every time. So then I came back. We had the opportunity to go back again. Another shot at the titles. Got cheated again. Go back. Another shot at the titles. I just had enough. My goals have switched.
Okay.
My goals changed. I went in a different direction, down a different road. I couldn't take any more of that. You know, there was no partner that could back me up the way I need to be backed up. So it was time to put that to an end, as you saw, or as you will see.
Yeah.
And now my goals have changed. I'm going a different direction.
Straight to the top. I mean, you're
where I belong. Where I belong, Bruiser.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're riding along here with, of course, Rex Atkins and all the folks that are involved there. I mean, you have a special relationship that you have now come to appreciate with him and some of the other folks here. Give us a little background on that now.
Well, see, the thing is, my wife and I, Ashley Veda, OSPW Women's Champion, international star as well. She's from Winnipeg, Canada. I'm from Texas. I have family here in Buffalo, New York. So when we got married, we figured we'd stay close to Buffalo. We got some beach rental property up in Churchton.
Oh,
you know, we travel there during the summer. When I'm in town, we don't have to pay for hotels.
I've jumped off that pier before at church.
Oh, yeah. It's gone now. They tore that thing up. It's
almost back. That's right.
It's garbage now. But yeah, so we were just up there one day. I went to the local ice cream shop, took the baby down, get some ice cream, and this guy comes out and says, "You're a wrestler." I'm like, you know, some people said so. And he says, "Our kid we got working in the kitchen, he wants to be a wrestler really bad." So I'm like, send him out. A little young kid comes out, just like, "Oh, I want to be that, I want to do that, I want to do that." So I'm laughing at him, you know, "Okay, kid." And he told me something about some people offered to train him in Ontario, made him pay $150 just to get beaten up. Shoot. No training involved. Shoot. Now, when I went to training where it counts, down south, the old NWA boys. And you know they're going to take it out on your ass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
That's fine.
But they will. Exactly. And you pay it hard, but they don't beat you up. You know, they bruise you up a little bit. They let you know this is not a joke. This is not what you think it is. This is not fake like you've been told. This is rough.
Sure.
But they don't straight up go out there and beat you up. for no reason. And that's what they did to this kid. So I heard that, and I was like, I'll tell you what. I was out of wrestling at that point with my knee. Just had a baby. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to come back. And it was a depressing time, to be honest with you. I didn't know which way my life was going. I had my passion for wrestling and my passion for fathering. And, with the knee happening, I couldn't do it. So I started to get in the gym a little bit. Concrete floor boxing ring. Just a canvas and some ropes. That's it. I started showing him a few things, and my knee started to, my knee felt all right doing it. And then the kid, just his passion was just unbelievable. It sparked almost that passion in me again as when I was 19 years old down at Chief Wahoo School. And ever since then, we got into OSPW. We've been working it. And, I'm telling you, the kid's amazing. Especially when it comes to his dedication, his heart, his passion. It's brought out in me that used to be there back when I was his age.
Well, speaking of course, heritage, we're talking about with Rex Atkins, his grandfather, again, former wrestler, former referee of Maple Leaf Wrestling, a lot of folks are familiar with as well. You yourself, heritage, nephew of the great Swede Hansen, which a lot of our folks are very familiar with. Then when you got started in here, and this was back in '97, how were you introduced to the sport of wrestling then?
Well, it's a funny story, actually. My dad, he drove me to North Carolina, which is pretty far from Denton, Texas. And he drove me there, handed me $20. I was 19 years old. I had not a clue of the world. I was green to the world. Opened the door, handed me $20 and said, see you later. I got out right at the doorstep of Chief Wahoo McDaniel School in Charlotte, North Carolina. Got out, knocked on the door, opened the door, it was Swede Hansen. And he was like, I knew you were coming. I was told you were coming, come on in. So they brought me in, of course they roughed me up pretty good, as they do down there. And they really taught me the right way that professional wrestling should be. Nowadays you don't see that anymore. It's really getting diluted. You got guys with like 2-3 weeks or 2 months or a year or two of training going out training new guys. Just flooding the market with really honestly crap. And they don't understand, they might be able to do some good flip-y moves.
Sure.
But they don't understand the psychology behind wrestling. They don't understand the professionalism of it.
Sure.
They haven't been taught. It's not their fault. They just don't know.
So adding to that, you think that that's really missing in today's mainstream?
I'd say there's very little of it left. I was lucky enough to get the proper training, to go to the area where it was still taught properly. Okay. And nowadays, it's just, there's not much of it anymore.
So with the mentoring of Swede Hansen and being down at Chief Wahoo McDaniel School, what would you say maybe the one big valuable lesson that you've learned as you've now come along in the ranks?
Professional, really, protecting the credibility of the professional wrestling business.
Okay.
Number one, first and foremost. You'll never see me do anything to really impact the credibility of the business. If I take a chance and impact my own credibility, that's different. I'm never going to compromise the business or the sport, whatever you want to call it, itself. I'll never do.
It's interesting that, like you say, Blackjack Phoenix here, maybe a breed apart in today's wrestling genre, but right now in OSPW showing how he's able to perform and to his best of his abilities. But like I said, you've been known nationally, and you come to town here, so it's definitely something that is prestigious when you come into OSPW. You look for some gold and so forth. Again, you've held, and I'm looking at your resume here, NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles at one time, and even
same titles as Uncle Swede held.
Yep, that's
Rip Hawk.
Often and many times.
Many times, and Swede was my manager in that match.
Okay, AWA World Heavyweight Champion. Now, was it recognized, or did folks know? What was it?
On the show, they announced the winner of the match, the new AWA World Heavyweight Champion, Jason Phoenix. That was the time. It was run by the same people that run the AWA. Just for some reason, it's never made it into recognition.
Okay, all right. Something like that. How do you react to that?
It actually happens more than people think.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of times titles switch hands. They just don't get recognized. Whether it be a promoter promoted a show outside of the big global organization.
Okay.
Maybe they didn't recognize it that way. I'm not sure what the circumstances were then. I was 20 years old. I wanted to go in there, look good, wrestle, and pick up some girls.
Nothing wrong with that, folks. You've wrestled over 1,000 matches in your career. You know, and you've worked with some of the greats. Like not only aside from Swede Hansen, but of course other folks like, and you've teamed with Monty Brown.
Oh, yeah, the Alpha Male, baby.
Yeah, give us a story about Monty Brown, former Buffalo Bill.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's one of the things we had in common. Myself having a lot of family here in Buffalo, and wrestling a lot in the Buffalo area. The first time I met Monty Brown was in Lansing, Michigan, for AWWL. Eddie Farhat Jr. runs that.
Right.
Sheik's son. I saw him and I just knew who he was. I mean, how many other big guys like that?
Sure.
You know exactly who he is. So I just went up, started talking to him, told him, I have a lot of family in Buffalo. I spent a lot of time there. And he just took me right in as his friend. Just having that thing in common, he took me right in. Later on that night, we had a tag team match planned. And it was just circumstances in that match. Just we weren't in there with the best of wrestlers. I don't know how they got on the show. But he understood and he didn't care. I was nervous. I'm like, what are we going to do? There's a packed house outside. There's over 2,000 people in that crowd. And the TV cameras were rolling. It was on ABC in pretty much a good part of the, Midwest.
Yeah.
And he just told me, he says, Blackjack, don't worry about it. We'll go out there, we'll kick their butts, and whatever's left for them, they'll show it on TV.
Worked out well.
Oh, I was never more comfortable in the ring than I was in that match.
So aside as your partners that you've had over the time, I mean, do you rank him up there, or how would you rank some of your other partners then? If you had to.
Yeah, I definitely rank him up there with one of the best. We had about 2 or 3 matches, tag team, couple 6-man. Chris Sabin is another guy I tagged. I was lucky to tag with a couple times. He's really good. He's young. A lot of people don't realize he's still new to the business.
Yep, right.
Man, is he good.
Yeah. High flyer himself, right?
Man, is he good.
Seen him on NWA TNA.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been in the business almost 10 years. And he's just as hip to the things going on in the ring that a guy like me is. 10 years in the business, 15 years. He's just as smart. Just as good, just as talented. He's going places, that boy.
Well, speaking of going places, let's again focus on you here for a moment. You're here in the Western New York area. You've been around, world traveler, been to Mexico. Even I noticed your IWA title at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us some of your experiences there.
Well, I don't know. Everywhere I go in the world, it's always different.
Yeah. Fans too, do you think? See difference in?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, you go down to South Carolina, those people, they'll break a beer bottle and stick it right in you. They don't. They're rough down there. I made the mistake. I was doing a spot one time where I was the only Southern guy on the cart in South Carolina. They were all Southern, but they were just playing me up as the big Southern hero.
Okay.
And for some reason, my partner was just making me mad. So it was time to get rid of him. So I turned on, the crowd started booing me, and for some reason I had the Southern flag, the Dixie flag in my hand.
Right.
I just took it, wiped my nose with it, threw it on the ground. Just professional wrestling,
Okay.
Well, needless to say, I had my my cousin's car. I drove that down from Buffalo, so I had New York State license plates, and they knew which one was mine. And all I saw was a couple wrestlers were in the back going, "Jason, you can't go nowhere. We're calling the police." I'm like, I thought I was like a fugitive. So they took me out to the window, looked out. They're back in pickup trucks into my cousin's Dodge Daytona. Never forget that one.
Oh my goodness.
The fans are rabbits.
More, I guess so. Well, see, and that's the difference you find. But a lot of it can also have to do with, whether the wrestling is, we know, is a great sport, great industry, and so forth.
The best sport, best industry.